So today we're starting to talk about negative exponents. This is not really a part of grade 9 math, more so of grade 10. But some of you guys have already experienced negative exponents because you did the extending section of, I think it was in day 2 notes or day 3 notes. Right? So some of you guys do have experience with it. But today I just can go into more detail. When you guys are doing the assignment, I talked to quite a few of you guys, but I get a chance to talk to everybody. Right? So the rules are still the same. You'll notice the difference with the number. So if we did a question with division, right? The bases always stay the same. We combine the exponents. All right? What should the exponent for the 6 be? Here. Are we adding them? Are we subtracting them? Are we multiplying? Those are 3 options. All right?
Or, sorry.
3. Thank you, Dante and Max. Right? So we're dividing, we subtract those exponents. All right? On the next one, the base stays the same. We got the same numbers.
Negative 3.
Thank you, Ryan. The order of the numbers are different. Right? The way we do our subtraction is our first number minus our second number. So 7 minus 4 is 3. But 4 minus 7 is negative 3. So the order matters, right? All of a sudden you have a negative exponent. What does it mean, right? So remember that exponent means it's a multiplication that's just repeating over and over and over again. So this one's pretty easy, right? This means, hey, this 3 means repeat the 6 3 times. 6 times 6 times 6. What does a negative 3 mean, right? That becomes the question here. So to show that, I'm going to take the original question here. That means we have 7 sixes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sixes on the top. And that means we have, this one says we have 4 sixes on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? If there's a division question, a simplifying question, a multiplication on the top can cancel a multiplication on the bottom. A factor on the top can cancel a factor on the bottom. Right, so this is how we learned our division rule. So 1 6 on the top cancels a 1 6 on the bottom. Another 6 on the top cancels another 6 on the bottom. Right, so we can cancel out up to 4 of these. And what's left over is our answer. 6 times 6 times 6, which is 6 cubed. Okay. Now if we do the same thing for this question, the numbers are reversed. We have on the top, we have our 4 fives, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the bottom, we have our 7 fives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And the process of executing this is the same as before. A factor on the top can cancel a factor on the bottom. So when we cancel it out, so this 5 here can cancel this 5 there, this 5 can cancel this 5, and this 5 can cancel this 5, and this 5 can cancel this 5. And what we're left with on the bottom is 3 fives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that's how the canceling works. What are we left with on the top?
1?
Just 1. So when we cancel, it doesn't disappear into nothing. Remember, it makes 1. The canceling is we're doing a division. We're doing 5 divided by 5. It's 1, right? So if you have nothing to put there, everything disappears. You have to put the 1 in. Okay? So if we clean this up, on the top, we have a 1. On the bottom, we have 5 cubed. So if you have a negative exponent, this is not 100% true, right? But for now, a negative exponent means, hey, your repeated multiplication is actually in the denominator. Right? Positive exponents, you still have the repeated multiplication, but it's just like in the numerator like we're used to. All right? So, now the math rules of how answers should be written is they like answers to be written with positive exponents. Doesn't mean the answer is wrong with a negative exponent. The convention is positive exponents, right? So if I wanted to rewrite this with a positive exponent, it would go from this in the numerator to this in the denominator, right? So it's the same question. So you take the same power, you put it on into the denominator, and you just get rid of the negative sign. So that's the way the convention is to write answers with positive exponents. So to take a negative exponent, just put it into the denominator, and there you go. All right. So now, with this question over here, if I want to write this as a positive exponent, what's on the top, what's on the bottom of the fraction? What's in the numerator, what's in the denominator? For the first one here.
1.
Is where?
1.
Numerator, denominator?
Up.
Up. Yeah, that's numerator. And what's in the denominator?
2 exponent 1.
2 exponent 1. Now, the exponent 1 now, you don't have to show, but you can show it there. Right? Now, this question says, hey, write it as a power, positive exponents. It also says evaluate as well. So remember, evaluate means just calculate. So this question doesn't really change too much. On the top, we have a 1. On the bottom, we evaluate 2 to the exponent 1 is just 2. So that's our evaluated thing. Okay. Next one. Right? Oops. What goes on the top? What goes on the bottom? To get rid of that negative fraction. Ryan again.
1.
1 and
3 exponent 2.
3 exponent 2. Take the same power, just make it positive in the denominator. Okay? Now if you want to evaluate this, the 1 is a number already, so 3 to the exponent 2, what number is that? It's 9. 3 times 3, 9. So that's you evaluating it. Okay? So I think you guys got that. Okay, so let's skip the next one, so you have more time for your assignment. Okay. Now the situation is, what happens if in the original question, the negative exponent is actually in the denominator? Here, it was in the numerator, right? So if you imagine this as a fraction, everything's over 1. We put this and we put it to the bottom, right? But what happens if the negative exponent is actually in the denominator? All right, so
Change it. You change it.
we change it. How do we change it?
The bottom goes top.
Yeah,
And the top goes.
nicely said. Okay, so I didn't quite explain this 100% true, right? It doesn't mean that this negative exponent, it belongs in the denominator. What it means is this term is not on the right side of the fraction. Right? If it's in the top with a negative exponent, to make it positive, we flip it to the bottom. Over here, it's on the bottom with a negative exponent. To make it positive, we just flip it to the other side of the fraction. So to make this a positive exponent, we just go 4 squared over 1. Or just, since you don't need the 1, just 4 squared.
Yeah.
Just flipping it to the other side. That's what the negative exponent means. Hey, it's just, we're on the wrong side of the fraction. Just flip it to the other side of the fraction. It'll be positive. Okay? All right, so going over here, if I want to rewrite this as a positive exponent, how would it look like? We take it and we flip it.
1 on the bottom.
1 on the bottom,
And on the top is 5 exponent 2.
5 exponent 2. And you don't need to show the 1 on the bottom, so you just go 5 exponent 2. And if we wanted, the second part of this question says evaluate. Once you have that written down, 5 exponent 2, it says 25. Okay? Just flip it to the other side. This one. You can go ahead with me. Ryan again?
Okay. And 1 is in the bottom.
Yeah.
And in the top is 2 exponent 3.
Yeah, so or just 2 exponent 3, which is 8. And that's it. So we'll stop right there. The backside, if we have some time, we'll do it next.